Welcome back to EU5, episode 21. As we proceed on, we're kind of caught in the mix at the moment. We've got a couple issues to overcome, manpower being a huge one as we upgraded our army. Suddenly we have over 8,000, but we don't have the manpower to keep up with it. We don't have the way to get more manpower currently. So I'll need to look into some sort of research item, but I've got a very long queue of research items as it is. It's just going to complicate that, meaning we're going to be hurting for manpower for a while yet, I think. Then we're in the midst of this disaster that we were getting really close to being done with. We had started below 60% religious unity and had it up to, I think, over 85, almost 86%. It was getting very close to the 90 to end the religious turmoil that we were in the midst of after essentially what boiled down to a misclick due to a rather small bug. I mean, it told me to change policies, and I changed policies, only for it to flip our stability completely on its head. Stability's fine. We've been adopting institutions, making progress there, but we haven't been able to end this religious turmoil just yet. And with the Calvinists starting to spread, we're going backwards right now, not forwards. We're further away than we were. Otherwise, economy is growing, and we want to continue to help it grow. I think short term, one of the best things to do is we need a lot of gravel roads. We have added one more in here recently, but I think it's time we get another made. And Avora is still without a road to connect it up. So if we're going to build a road, and you can see what we have now, only 170 ducats this time, as it's a small connection. Let's go ahead and get that constructed. We got 29 days left on a parliament issue that involves expanding roads. We're getting things at a discount right now. We're barely at pass level, but I think I don't need the other 5%. I'm going to take my chances and get a 0.25 boost on development, but I'd also like to get another road built. 134 ducats. Okay. Link up right here. Okay. And what about going to Pin Hill? No, we need to... we still don't have the advancement for paved roads, by the way. Pin Hill, 191. Okay. It's going to add a lot. And there we go. It passed anyway. Good. As we finish the Canadian Atlantic coastline. So we want to get on with our next exploration. Do we want to do the continuation? No, we need to do... trying to make my way around Africa right now, so why don't we keep this push on getting the South Atlantic. Okay, we want to get the Karkari market, not the Chinchai, so we want to get our town here, Sayupe. The other thing I'm noticing here at the moment, as we have a new explorer, just 23 years of age, that's a really good one. What I'm noticing at the moment is this has just split off into two separate markets, and this southern edge is now a different market, probably because of Venice has, I would imagine, created their own. Do we even have a presence in that market? No. We're going to need to get a town constructed. Oh, 82 ducats. Now, of course, we have neither one of our explorations, as we just now begin the next one. Neither one of our explorations were active, so, I mean, that's close to 20 ducats right there. But, oh, we are making some bank right now. Now, there we go. Our exploration is doing just fine. That's our only town here in this southern region. There we go, the Appalachia colony. Of course, we want to add that in to our Florida. So Pensacola is next. We are literal at about 200k pops. It's fine. We also have another one that's about to be done. Miami is about to finish. They're on their last one right now, nearly complete. That will finish off Florida, and we'll start moving into Georgia after that. And there you go. There is Florida. And we'll get right into that next one, except for we're going to have to wait a little bit. Couple ticks, as it costs a couple hundred gold. More Lutheran pops ready to leave from Minho. Not happy to lose the pops, obviously, but we're still growing anyway. 2.3 million now. And we've got a couple ticks. We can... Yes, that's the next one. Extremadura. War between Castile and Aragon is still ongoing. We know that other nations were involved, and Castile was inland in Central Europe here, active, sieging things down, but they don't want to siege down the other islands within Aragon, so their war score is only going to be so high. I've been wanting to attack Aragon, but we cannot grab a casus belli on them. It would be a no casus belli war, and as we're about to run out of manpower, not too thrilled by my prospects there at the moment either. Looking at our navy, we have a lot of ships ready to upgrade to something better, so let's go ahead and take that task on, give them a chance to upgrade and get fixed anyway. There was some that had taken attrition at some stage, so this will give us a bigger, better, stronger navy for now. I think we're going to need to expand our navy here as well. Corrupt viceroys. That doesn't sound like fun. We're going to lose economy for a little bit, 2.5 inflation, and we need to turn the minting down a little bit to recover that. Nobility, we need to turn their tax down a little bit. You want that threshold above 50. Alright, we are ready to steal some maps. Novgorod first. The nice thing right now is they are so far away from us that we're not really running any risks of actually having a coalition against us and them attacking us. The distance, I think, is just far too much of an obstacle. Alright, well, everything's starting to open up inland now that we've got the kind of the Great North taken care of, so there's a pocket there. And then we also have Georgia that we can do the same on. And we are definitely starting to make some enemies in the area. They're down to just a few. I got ourselves a little situation. So the nobility is already not happy. They're close to getting back to happy. A 10% drop could hurt a lot. I mean, there's an insurgency growing amongst them. But we can make them happy right now at the cost of 500 ducats, which is about 8 months worth of profit. Or lose 10% and run the risk of yet another. So I think we have to pay. We've got to help them out this time. Okay. Double events on top of each other. Paraiba, this colony just finished, so that's going to stay part of Portugal. And we also just lost our explorer exploring the South African coastline, so we want to make sure we replace them. And I think our young character out of Miami is going to be a good one for this. We have a lot of good explorer options, and I'm wondering if I should open a third exploration. But in the meantime, we definitely want to get our fourth colony. No, we're doing San Francisco, the one here. So yeah, we definitely want to get this last adjacent Brazilian one. With the inflation, it's a little over 200 right now, but our inflation level is rather small. Let's go ahead and use Extremadura. But that will complete the coastline throughout almost all of Brazil. We're going to want to continue pushing south, and France is just taking this region here. There's still a pocket right there, though, that we could get, which would allow us to push inland and eventually probably connect up. Yes, it would allow us to connect up a land route with Paraguay. So I think we should make sure we get onto that one next. Our spy in Novgorod has been caught once again. Oh, there we go. The war with Aragon has ended, and Castile took just a little bit of land right down here. That appears to be all that they took. See, Two Sicilies is getting pretty strong. France, of course, but they don't look like they've expanded much for a while. They actually might be expanding in this way. England's actually losing territory. Brabant has pushed in. And the king has died. Anso has become the new king. He is 34. Bit in Lisboa. Repaying the 5 legitimacy does not hurt. Keeping the capital there on a permanent basis now. Oh, he's got really, really low stats. The king in the Navy in Jamaica Channel. So he was leading the Castilian Navy in the Caribbean. His constant meddling in every infrastructure project has left our country with a long list of expenses that we will not miss. Okay, we can sacrifice what little religious influence we have, make the clergy unhappy, but we can once again, for the life of the new king, increase our crown power by 20%, and then kill whatever monthly religious influence we would have and hurt our papal relations. But we still have 5 cardinals, so I'm pretty happy, and we're not gaining much quickly right now anyway. The extra crown power is well worth it to me. Well, the new king has a new opinion on offensive wars, and that is mutually being called in for offensive wars, duty for offense. That goes both ways. If they have an offensive war, we will be called in. If we have an offensive war, they will be called in. And goodbye manpower. This is the last of it right now. Oh, it did not change manpower. Let's turn it back down, save 18 ducats. Okay, the Atlantic South. Wow, done. Just like that. That was fast. That is such a large area, but so much of it is an area you just don't go into, and they are going to keep that as uninhabitable. If we look at time frame, the shortest one actually here is across the Andes. I wasn't planning on doing that just yet, but it's so quick compared to everything else. Let's go ahead and do it. We just don't have any good... No. There's no good market options on where to set that up from, so I think we can wait for that. Louisiana's next, but I'd rather get through Alabama and Mississippi first. Alright, this is a naval sea-based one. We'll go ahead and explore along here. Right off the bat, you can see the benefit of what we've done with the addition of the gravel roads. Control through this middle territory is much stronger than these outer territories where it's down as low as 17. So we need to connect gravel roads up, obviously along here, back to here, and definitely along areas here, and that will increase our control throughout Portugal quite a bit. It pays for itself quite quickly. I want to sink Porto back up here, so we'll make that our first road, and then we will also make one to Pin Hill. Wow, Pensacola, that was fast. Okay, Pensacola colony done, and Florida is now completely done. And our African coastline is discovered, so we've made it around the Horn of Africa now. Ready to start coming up the other side, which will immediately begin an exploration there. Anahas can lead this one. I'm glad that I've kind of set up that Karakari market. It's really paying off that we've given it the resources it needs to be successful in more ways than one. I mean, we're making 56 ducats off of it now. The Lisboa one's up to 101. Trade income is rising a lot. But what's not rising is our conversions. We were 90+%. We were 93+% on all 3 of these, and they're all down into the mid 80s now. Okay, our first Georgia colony. We are going to keep it going, at least for now, to Mukwa. We're not going to go separate state by state. Burger's unhappy at the moment. Too long till they'll be back to happy. I think by the time I kind of get through this little bit of Georgia and South Carolina, I'm going to call it good on that colony and let them expand on their own, and then move on to colonizing elsewhere. We might continue on with the Atlantic coastline. Obviously, there's a lot of good stuff if we get up into this region that we can get after, and maybe we start another colony there, or we move on and we jump to the other side here and begin colonizing the southern tip here of South America, or get back to that plan of seeing what there actually is to do here along the African coastline beyond what the others are doing. Okay, monastery joins the Reformation. We're going to go with the Jesuits again to get rid of those preachers. Makes clergy happy. Cost me 100 ducats. Definitely need to get a colony on the go down here somewhere if we are going to continue exploring around. Well, speaking of exploring, there's some research that's going to help us out. Exploration monthly progress and prep timer. Spy network ready once again. They are getting not so happy with us in the region, but again, it's not this one, which, ooh, that's a big pocket we just opened up. Nice. I think we'll be able to get back into Africa here. In fact, I think we're ready to get back into Africa. Oyo, Fiefdom of Sokoto, Mali. Wow, Morocco's all the way down here now. Morocco is winning the Africa battle. I think we're back to Sokoto then. Yemen might be a good one. I think we can take on multiples right now. A lot of random antagonism, but if it's spread out, it's spread out. It's not going to hurt anything. So there we go. Spy networks times 3. To deal with the food situation in Granada. First looking at Malaga. We've made a fruit orchard, but it's not employing anyone. In part because we've got starving pups, which means they're not promoting. So we are kind of stuck in a cycle of we don't have what we need to get out of the situation. Trade is kind of the best way. The FAS market has a monthly balance, but we're just not getting it to the region. The most profitable is fur, which comes with food, the hunting. It brings both the meat and the fur to you, but I think I'd rather go with a better, Sevilla to Faz, 5 food. Now, it looks like the market has plenty of food in it, but we don't have the best access. They're not really in the best market, being in Faz, which is down here, which is a rival. We don't have roads down here. This is about to be connected up, in which case you'll want to run a road all along the coastline. Link up Sayupe. Do we have... Oh, we still haven't built anything in Sayupe. Not finding the dock at the moment, but we'll get a marketplace built. I think that'll be a good start. The Naval Supplies Guild is helpful for our exploration ventures, but I think we're okay without. There's a protected harbor. Naval attrition. Harbor capacity is up. This is California coastline. Castile has a market open way over there. Ooh, here's that minus 25 trade advantage in Lisboa. Oh, I hate that one, but we can get it. Commoners are going to be super unhappy, but we move towards a capital economy. Another major negative event from this stupid religious turmoil that we've been stuck in for a long time, and this one is terrible. Heretic subjugation. Lose 1,000 ducats. 500 in debt with the 500 we have. long time to pay back, or 20 stability. Luckily, we have 20 stability to spare. As Parliament is ready to meet once again, Castle works, Army exercises, neither one of those. Well, Army tradition plus 10, I suppose, is decent. We'll take that. It's already above 50%, so I'm not even going to add to it. And there, it's connected! Kingdom of Portugal. We have a single solitary running all along here, except for right. And there we go. Anaha, speaking of. Okay. 6 ducats to avoid losing 5%. Alright, and this region is discovered with no colonies there yet. It's still open. Good. That means it's time to begin a new exploration. Okay, I need to continue exploring this coastline. Like I said, if we're going to expand, we need to find where the colonies end and then go beyond them. Let's see if we can get a casus belli on Valencia. Taking land is going to be a little bit harder when it's inland. I think that would be turning them into a subject. New market opening here in the Caribbean. So competitor is going to pull Castile off of that Kayakari market. It's probably not going to make as much. It's making 80 ducats though. Okay, that passed without any additions on its own. I like that. And create colonial charter cost goes down by 10% as we finish some research. And we get that army tradition. That's a good day. Magdalena starting to make their way into this pocket along here. Okay, so Anajas, how is it doing? It's not populating squat, is it? No market access? How do they have no market access? Got all these buildings and they're employed, but they're not doing anything. We need to figure out how to get market access up. Okay, so it looks like this Karakari is not happening. The Windwards have built things up and are doing well. The others are active. We need a fresh new market. I don't know if Anajas is where I want to launch that from, as it is on an island. So I think if we go to Sayupe, I think we need to form a new market here and try to build it up. Short term, this could have an impact on our exploration capabilities, but you could always still go out of Karakari. But we need to form a market for this region and get it on the go. We have no market access to that market, so our regions aren't actually helping anything. I think what this is also going to do for me, this is going to pull off that Chinchai market and bring our whole Brazil region into its own market there. Intercolonial trade. They are subjects of Portugal. Our interests override theirs. We would move 2 towards mercantilism or 2 towards free trade. What's the benefit of each? With mercantilism, we have trade maintenance, trade efficiency is down, market protection is high. Where you have free trade has more benefits. You just have less protection on the market. Which the protection, what is that? This directly reduces the market attraction that foreign markets have on locations, making it more likely for them to fall under a market of their owner. Yeah, we want free trade. And this will put us almost neutral between the two. Ooh, you know what I'm seeing here? There's your market access. There's your partial market access. There's your nothing market. Dial. Tamukwa. Okay. Just finished that. Tamukwa has its own market. Minoa. That just split off. You know what? Like I said, I think it's time to move away from here. Or we cut it down to just 1 to help grow this area a little bit longer. I don't need to increase what we're doing here. 2 is fine, and as this pocket is filling up, we're going to be able to be more strategic, though I do want to take this area and then you can continue expanding down there until you meet Venice and share a border, then start pulling inland. But I think I want to jump the queue and get down here and start our next one, which would be a subject. We would create a new subject down here. So we have La Plata, 3K, yeah. Guild before country. Cabinet member dies, lose 10 prestige, or sacrifice 7 stability. Stability's okay, I guess. Negative event, no choice on this one, spend 319. Sokoto, ready to steal maps from them. Houseland is our next one as we open that up and get more of Sokoto visible to us now. They're fairly good size. Next one is ready, and that's Yemen. It's the first time we'll be stealing a map from Yemen, and obviously this one I want to get our kind of our East African coastline off of them. We start with Nubia. That revealed a nice big pocket for us. Oh, come on. Big negative event again. Heretic subjugation. 1,000 ducats or 20 stability. Well, we did the 20 stability, and we just did another stability event where we're down to 57. Oh, man, I don't want to take this debt. That's a huge debt. But knocking us down to 37 stability is iffy. But we're gonna do it. Poor harvest. Minus almost 200 ducats. And we are getting hit hard right now. And with the extra exploration hitting a little bit harder than expected, we're at just 40 ducats profit. So we're not making bank the way we normally are. That network is high enough. Let's see if we can create a Casus Belli. No, we cannot. This is Valencia. Just like Aragon, we just don't have the requirements. Alright, Georgia, let's go steal a map again, huh? France, again forcing us to embargo England. Steal a map, 3 options. And there's your next one, obvious. As we expand that pocket now. The king's son, aged 11, just passed away. There will be a new heir, but look how much better control is as we've been adding these gravel roads. And I think we need to continue to add these gravel roads. Especially here. There's our new market. Sayupe has a new market. So control fairly low down here, but it's definitely not nothing. But let's see, what is the market like now? Oh yes, it did. Okay, so Karakuri there. Sayupe, there's your divide between them, right into our control area. And the Chinchai market, which apparently just automatically existed. Maybe it's over here where it's based out of. So it was not Venice's market. This is now Sayupe, and the Venice colony is going to be part of the Sayupe market. But you could see our control of market is not that big. Not that big at all. We're still not getting market access, I don't think. In Anajas. Sayupe way closer. Highest market attraction. Yeah, you can see the Sayupe one, but it's up and running. It's employed. The dry dock getting somewhere. The armory is currently under construction. Laborers, a tar kiln looks like the best money maker. So we'll queue that up. probably going to need some more towns nearby. Advanced research, colonial range plus 1,000, trade range plus 200, and we have an exploration, Casus Belli. Conquer cost only 50% higher, subjugation cost only 30% higher than base normal. That's a big one for us, as it's all colonial stuff here, but as we get to like this side, there's going to be nations there. Here there's going to be nations. Maybe there's nations up there that might just all be colonial, but there's definitely nations along here, and there's your foothold into some of these areas. Well, we used the religious one on Capel, which Capel is shrinking, and others are able to have war with them, but we constantly have this occupied by Viceroyalty of Cape Verde, and it's not actually right. Okay, market is a bit of a problem here. It's a new market. A lot of things are missing, shorthanded. It's going to be hard to grow them up. We need leather, which I don't think we have a way to do much with that one at the moment. eBay is making money off a trade, 15 ducats already, so. And Karakuri's still making 70 ducats. So market access is big. And we may yet open another one here with Anajas. The areas are just too spread out for single markets. Magdalena back to not liking us. Is that Castile now? Yeah, Castile took over that OPM, one province minor. Magdalena never did take these guys over for some reason. Okay, Magdalena does rule them. They became a minor subject. Paracahuana, ooh, Paracahuana getting sneaky, jumping over Magdalena. This is all New Spain now. And when you highlight it, you can see it goes way up here. So New Spain is a pretty big colony. Not further up the coastline though. You can see that highlighted, outlined. Alright, South Africa coastline is discovered. And so to continue up the Zimbabwe coastline, this might be a little more difficult now, as we don't have the market access. Yeah, it's all Sayupe market, which does not have the goods. Sayupe market does not have the goods, so we cannot continue right now exploring in that direction. We, however, can explore this direction. "16-year-old Bahichio Padi." Wow, fantastic. Fantastic ratings. Attributes. Things. Thingy-mabobbers. Okay, increase market control. Tamukwa. Okay, we will keep adding up there for now. Alright, continuing up the coastline. Up the coastline keeps others out. Right, moving inland. Tamukwa can handle that themselves. I think we want to move up the coastline, which means we need to get North Carolina explored here at some point. Whoa, buddy. Why are we losing 8,000? Sokoto. ready to steal maps once again off of Sokoto. And we have our last big central desert region, and we finally have it all. So we're done with the desert, and coming more into much more highly populated areas from there on out. Alright, we have our second town now. We can begin construction there. So there's very few pops. Let's try to start with something simple. We're going to need some various items in the market, and having masonry is probably going to be helpful for construction. So let's get a mason. Let's get back on that build roads thing here. 600 ducats will get us a few territories, and then you're already out of range. Let's get enough to get over 4 with that next click. There it is. This will just slowly start increasing that control throughout the region. Ready. We want to steal right along here next. Butana. There we go. Maintenance minus 10%. That's going to have a pretty healthy knock-on effect when we are conducting so much trade. Car market's up to 87 ducats. Growth of Lisboa attracts commoners, so we can increase development there but lose some in Setúbal. Move towards centralization, which is definitely good, or make the commoners unhappy, the nobility happy, and what? Let's see. Granted commoners free mobility for the common people. Move towards serfdom. No, we'll accept this one. It's offsetting things for the most part. Baribe is ready. That's Brazilian coastline, so we'll keep that part. We also have an exodus of Valencia, and that is Minho, 100 Lutheran pops leaving, and we just discovered a region, so we've got an exploration done. Oh, that was fast. Or is that beginning? No, it's done. It is done. So we have an exploration done. We have a charter ready to start the next colonial one. So yeah, let's... And with our connection finally done across here, like I said, we don't need to fill inland right now. We need to continue to expand at the edge and here, especially here. So that's going to be the one we're looking for right now. This one's going to take a good while as there are a couple larger population areas here. It's going to be a lengthy one, but yeah, we'll get to it. Let's use Alto Alentejo this time. Something a little bit different. It's going to take a long time to colonize this one. The Sao Francisco is about to be done. Go that direction off of that one. Sokoto has discovered our agent, so it's okay. We got 2 provinces, 2 maps off of them. We're going to use Alodia now for our replacement for Sokoto. Clergy is going to be a little upset as we move towards humanist. Farming estates, easy choice for me. The RGOs, big fan. Over 50%, so we can leave it alone. It'll be the 2nd time in a row. Alright, exploration is done here. A little bit more of Sokoto's larger than I thought. That means we want to move on as we are already doing discovery on this one, and that'll be done in what, 19 months. Let's begin discovery here. So we haven't done any regular economic boom stuff in a while. Let's do some of that. Lisboa is going to be a lot of this, as there's still some destroyed buildings that they've never recovered from. So Lisboa is going to grow, and of course it is a full-on city now. The naval supplies, that's all been Lisboa so far. Potter's Guild, if we can get somewhere else. Lisboa, of course. Let's let somebody else. All right, that is a lot of constructions. That's going to help boost that economy that we haven't spent time on for a little bit. And then I think I'll turn my focus back down to here. We're still just getting the gravel roads done here, but we should actually be having higher. It hasn't gone up yet. I'm guessing that's because it's not employed. Oh, they've got 900. Monthly manpower plus 9. Another 100 and they'll be at 1,000. I don't know how our manpower didn't go up. I didn't increase the army maintenance at all. Monthly manpower should have ticked up a bit. You know, by trade range up 25%. Research, and that passes. Okay, maybe we need to. Oh, we don't even have. Oh, we should have soldier pops. This is explored, by the way. It's just such a dark color that it looks. And we have an embrace institution ready to go. The printing press. It's a quarter of the way through the country right now. Cost, yeah, not great. 861. The stability cost a little too high right now. It would drop us to a 30, but we don't have to wait too long for that to tick the way I need it to. By the way, really annoyed with having to click this every year, every single year of the playthrough, and revote and revote and revote. We do have lots of minor unrest in our country. So much of that is the natives in the colonies, especially here, that just haven't been converted yet. Wow, hello, you're going fast. And speaking of, there's a negative event that's going to take 7 stability away from me. There we go, San Francisco is finally done. That was a high population kind of area, so we will keep it part of Portugal and continue on down here, challenging Venice, who is barely moving along. I mean, they've got 2. Getting back to our build roads, we want to go both directions with this. 630 ducats, but this is going to increase control and connection to the market. Especially with we might have natural harbors along here. We have no docks. There's, we only have 2 towns. So we're just gonna have to do things manually, either through roads or making more towns as we go along. And I think we need to be doing both. I'll see if we can turn this into something. It's kind of a mini project. It's maybe not the best, strongest way forward for Portugal, but this is supposed to be a learning playthrough and learning market access, learning control over our region. Having all this practice is really good. We have a fairly strong active economy here, and we learned we didn't have solid control throughout, and that we could fix that. Speaking of, we have more to do with that. Yeah, there's plenty of areas still without roads, and I think there's your next one. We have 0 roads into a local capital. So I think we can double it up, connect it here and to Evora. So that's 145, that's 272. Hey, we haven't had one of these in ages. Research progress boost. Okay, we have the ability to steal a map from Elodia. This will be the first time we've stolen one from them. Let's go ahead and take... No, I need to get the inland stuff. They're going to help me with the inland. So, Kordofan. We'll use Yemen. I think I'm gonna start trying to get some of this sea zone stuff. Well, obviously we don't know how much everybody else is aware of when it comes to sieging, the known world. As there we go, Gulf of Guinea is discovered. So there's this added territory now, and we can see Venice is here, Papal States is here. It's going to take a little bit to get past, but I mean, there's a currently So we can get an active idea on kind of what's happening here. The Bassa are the natives. The Median, that's your papal states. The Venetian, of course, is Venice. Catalan is Castile. And I'm wondering if they have reached their maximum pops. What is the 20,000? I think that's the maximum population. Population growth. There's it's not changing. It's not changing. So that is not actively being colonized. It's locked out. Is that Aragon? Wow, Aragon's up here too. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep pushing down the coastline to get more. That's already being diplomatic range plus 25%. That's a big old boost on the ability to steal maps, as we were getting to a lot of nations that were at the very edge of our range. This is going to allow us to push deeper and steal maps from others. But as I was talking about, I don't know what everybody else can see world map wise, but I feel like outside of maybe Castile, who has a lot more money than we do, and his neighbors, I have a strong feeling that we probably have the most complete map in the world right now. Ooh, okay, big event here. Additional privileges to the nobles, which would do what? Peasant estate satisfaction. Noble estate, obviously, that's a good one, because I think we are 56. That would knock them down to 46 for the commoners, where we're at 49 already. Like, we don't have a 50%. This would be a temporary 20% loss, but that's a huge 20% loss. We are going to have to do something about this, or raise that satisfaction threshold for them just a fair bit. That would definitely hurt, and I have a feeling we can see an insurgency come on fairly quick. Growth of market, Sayupe, 11 ducats. Definite project here. Definite project, but so far so good. All right, folks, this is a good pause point, though. We've hit 2.5 million pops in our country. We've got a lot in Brazil and growing, and are controlling it much more directly these days, doing what we can to boost it. Market access, of course, is going to be a big thing. And so how is that looking? Well, it's the same area, but we are expanding what we have going on there. I was very surprised that Sayupe took this whole area, and I do think that we're going to have to be more active in having additional markets. I think one market's not going to necessarily cut it. We need a market up here separately that will control, its localized region, and then you'll need another market down here as we expand. It's just multiple markets is good. I mean, you look around here, there's tons of markets. Granada being kind of mixed. Sevilla and Faz is kind of a rough one. I'm half tempted to make our own market, but Sevilla's huge, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know if a Granadan market would do good or not good. But it's pretty obvious that this is too far out. The market, there's not going to be any market access way down here. While it's a single little colony, it's not going to have the means to support itself. So you've got to grow it out on the back of this market first. Once you've grown it out and it's big enough to be self-sustainable, like Sayupe is doing pretty well already. We just have to hash it out and make it, functional. Because as we look at control, there's zero control way down there, and that's why we're going to have to give them independence, self-control. Control's still pretty limited through here, but it's not awful. 14s, 15s, but 6s, 9s, some zeros through here is not going to help me. But connecting up the road will. You can see how we already have an expanded, it's 20%, it's 15%. Not sure how that's only 2 when we've already got a gravel road there and a town there. That's changing. Monthly change plus 0.16. Maximum control 7 right now. But I'm learning. We're picking up what the game's throwing down and getting better with time. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.